Hey everyone, welcome into the Scoreboard. On today's show, we learn a little bit about keeping our furry friends safe. We preview the fall sports season with Vail Mountain School Athletic Director Bobby Ecker, and we take a trip to Transition Sports. But before all of that, up first, as the summer heat continues to prevail, it is important that we keep our animals safe while we are outside. Maddie Evans gives us a few tips.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard. We love our furry friends here in Vail, and it's really important that we keep them nice and safe. And this is my favorite furry friend right here, Beatrice. This is my beautiful baby dog, and she's panting right now because it's a little bit warm under these lights. So I've had to coax her into staying with me for like never-ending pets right now. But we just want to talk about some safety things that you can do to keep your dog nice and safe out there, and especially if you're getting out and maybe you're hiking with them or taking them to do any of the fun things that you and your family do around the valley. Now, the first thing that you always want to be so cautious of course not allowing them to overheat. And so you can see she's pretty panty right now, but she's also being pretty needy. She just wants me to not stop petting her at all. And you can see she's panting. She's not panting to the point where I'm worried about it, but if she started drooling, then I would start to be worried about her safety in here, but she's doing okay. She just really is needing to be snuggled in full capacity right now. But something that we do want to know is we are seeing those warmer temperatures out there, and so the asphalt is getting really, really warm. And when the asphalt gets warm, it can really do some damage to their paws. And so I don't know if she'll let us look at her paws, but they've got those nice little paw pads on there, and you just don't want to damage those dog paw pads because they'll get blisters on them if it is too hot outside and the asphalt starts to heat up. So the best thing you can do when you're out walking your dog to check the asphalt is put your foot on it first. If you have sandals on, or if you want to use your hand to the front or the back, and you just place your hand on it or your foot on it, that way you know exactly what the temperature is. So if it's too hot for you to have your bare skin on it, it's too hot for your pets to be on it. And so we're seeing those temperatures up into the 80s, and it's really important that everyone is just making sure that their dog is nice and safe. And then of course, something else that we have to note is that if you are taking your dog anywhere with you in the car, it's really, really important that you do not leave them in the hot car unattended. Dogs can go into heat stroke very easily. If it's 80 degrees outside, it can easily reach 120 degrees in your car within the matter of minutes. And so you never want to leave your dog in a closed car, shut off, and even if you roll down the windows, that airflow is just not going to be consistent enough to keep them cool enough to keep them safe in that car. So you just want to make sure that you're taking good care of your pets during the summertime. And you can see Bee right now getting nice and relaxed here on the set now that she's been sitting here for a minute, and she's getting all of the pets, because if I stop, then she just immediately hits me. She's very, very easygoing, but it is really important too, especially with wildlife out there, that you keep them on their leash. And Bee has a tendency to want to chase squirrels, and so anytime we go outside, I have to make sure that she's got her leash on her. That way she's safe and the squirrels are safe out there. And it's really important when you're out on the hiking trails, especially because we have so much wildlife here, whether it's foxes or whether it's deers. It's important that you keep your fur baby safe, but you also keep all of that wildlife safe out there. And especially right now that we're seeing all the babies, we've seen some fawns in our backyard, and it's just important that you're keeping everyone nice and with you. And it's really good. I love to keep her with me because I'm the neediest dog mom in the entire world. I put the word mother in smother when it comes to Beatrice. Something else is if you're taking your dog down to the water. Now, I know that some dogs are really good swimmers. She is not a good swimmer, so we've got a life jacket for her, and she never goes in too far where she can't touch the bottom of the river. But it's also really important that when she's getting in that water, I'm watching her to make sure that that current isn't taking her at all. And I always have her leash on her, just because if anything were to happen and she were to be swept in any way, shape, or form, I would be absolutely devastated. Now, the paw thing is super important, and then something else that's super important is ticks. It's that time of year where we're starting to see bugs kind of come to life a little bit more. It's a little more humid with those afternoon showers, and then of course with those warmer temperatures, we're just starting to see them hatch a little bit. So it's really important that after every hike and every walk, if you're going through that thick brush, you check your dog for ticks. Now, Bee has so much hair right here, as you can see, and it's really, really hard to check her for ticks as you're going through it. And so you just have to be really thorough, especially if you're hiking in an area where there could be ticks. And if you're out there hiking with your dogs, you just want to make sure that you have access to water for them. And then if they do start to show the signs of heat stroke, which is excessive panting, drooling, fever, and then you'll start to see them get a little bit fatigued and almost like dizzy, that you get them into some cool water immediately. That way they can start to cool down their body temperature, but also that you have that cool water for them to drink and that fresh water for them to drink. You don't really want them to drink water where they could get sick from it, because we've had that happen. You drink swamp water sometimes? Yes, you do. She's like, stop, you're embarrassing me. But it is important that you have that fresh water for your dog. So we have a portable, collapsible bowl that I bring with us that's super easy for her to use, super easy for me to fill up, and then of course that way she can just have that water to go with her. But we don't hike during the day. When we see those temperatures up into the 80s, her and I avoid taking her outside. She's got so much hair that she can overheat so quickly. And I know some people are like, oh, you should just shave your dog. Well, you can see right here, Bee had a little owie, so we had to shave her paw down. And she's got nice pink skin, and so if we were to shave Bee, she would have pink skin, which means that then she would be more prone to sunburn. And so when you're out there with your dogs who maybe have short fur, maybe have that light skin tone coming through, we put sunscreen on Bee's nose right here because she's got that little pink patch that does get sunburnt. And so you just want to make sure that you're taking proper care of your dogs, and there's so many ways to keep them safe, especially during the summertime when it's so hot out there for them. So just make sure that you follow all these tips and tricks and you keep your puppies safe during the summertime, because I don't know about you, but like I said, I put a mother and smother on Bee, and I couldn't imagine my life without her. She gets so annoyed with me when I do it, and then when I stop, she's like, no, don't, look, keep touching me, keep loving me, keep petting me. Make sure that you tune into the Scoreboard for more information, and always, so you can get some more glimpses of Beatrice. We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. Back to school is almost upon us, which means the fall sports teams are headed back to practice. Recently, I had the chance to catch up with Vail Mountain School Athletic Director Bobby Ecker to get his thoughts on the upcoming season. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, right now we are joined by Bobby Ecker over at VMS, the athletic director of that school. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Very happy to have you here. We're super excited to talk to you a little bit about this summer and how things have gone. So the first question is just, how have things been going over summer and what have you been up to?
Well, since the spring ended, we had a pretty busy spring. We had a lot of success with our spring sports teams that kind of dove into the summer a little bit. And then athletics ended and the school year ended, everyone graduated, and we've kind of just been looking forward to this year. We're just getting ready to start our fall sports, which is boys golf, boys soccer, and girls volleyball. Those are the three big ones that we host here at Vail Mountain School. Over the summer, I've been a little bit less busy than I normally am in the spring, but kind of tuning in a little bit, getting schedules ready and making sure I have all the rosters and transportation ready to go. So we're getting ready. We're almost there. Golf starts Monday.
Yeah, wow, yeah, so golf starts just this Monday. Have you been able to be in contact with the team at all? How much are they looking forward to this season, and what are they kind of projected to do?
Yeah, so they're really excited. Our golf team starts Monday, and then girls volleyball and boys soccer start the following Monday, but school doesn't start till the end of this month for us. So they're just starting to gear up. Kids are getting back into town if they were out of town, and we're super excited. We've been meeting with coaches and getting all of our gear ready and communicating with parents. Haven't seen any of the kids yet, which is a bummer, but they've been busy. We'll see them on Monday for the first practice for golf, and then they'll have tryouts in about a week, and we'll kind of have that varsity roster ready to go. But we have a pretty strong golf team. Last year, our boys finished second in the regionals, which qualified them for the state tournament. And we didn't lose any seniors. So we're looking at a pretty strong team for this year. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 returning seniors coming in, a lot of really strong golfers. And then our juniors this year, were all varsity players last year as well. So we've had a young team the last couple of years, and this year and next year look really bright for our boys golf team. We're aiming for a state championship. That's the goal. We've yet to have one. We got really close in the last 2 years, and we won our first regional tournament 2 years ago with some of these guys that are now seniors and juniors. They were only freshmen and sophomores then. So really exciting year for our boys golf team coming up.
That's an incredible start to the season. Way to kick off the school year. That's super, super exciting. Outside of the boys golf team, who is, maybe projected to be one of those state champion projections, who are some of the other teams, maybe not even necessarily in the fall, but throughout the entire school year that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, every team, they set goals, and one of those goals is to win a state championship. We're here to play. But looking at this fall, our boys soccer team looks really strong. We have almost 45 kids signed up for soccer right now, which is saying something. We're a small K through 12 school, and we only have about 165 high school students, and to have 40 of those, that's mixed boys and girls, to have 40 of those guys playing soccer is a big statement for how popular that sport is at our school. They had a good run in the playoffs last year. They got to the quarterfinals and lost. And this year we're actually going down a division. The Colorado High School Athletics Association, they classify 1A through 5A, 5A being schools that are much larger than the 1A schools. And they did a big shift this year, and we've normally been playing in a 3A league, which is above our normal capacity. We just play up, but this year they're making us play down. So we're going to be playing different teams, smaller schools, and that might play a factor this year in our success once we get to the tournament. We're really excited about playing some new opponents, traveling a little bit less, it looks like, which is great. But still playing a lot of the same teams. And then once we get to the playoffs, that bracket's going to be teams that we don't normally play in the last couple of years. So that'll be really interesting. We have a strong girls volleyball team coming in this fall as well. Last year we graduated some pretty valuable seniors, but there was only, I think, 4 of them. This year we have 8 seniors coming up that are really strong players. Looking at our boys lacrosse team, they had a ton of success last year. We went into the playoffs and had a heartbreaker loss to Aspen High School in the quarterfinals. So next year, hopefully see them again and move past them and get on a little bit further in there. All of our sports were last year, I think, was the first year that Vail Mountain School had every single one of our teams qualify for the playoffs, which is a big deal. We've grown a lot of athletes and had a lot of success in the last couple of years here. It's pretty cool to see.
Bobby, that is unbelievable. Such a small school, yet seemingly on the sports side of things, absolutely dominant. This is unbelievable to be hearing all of this stuff. This is so interesting. I wanted to ask you specifically, with so few kids, yet you're able to build these teams, and it seems like these athletes are competing at a very high level. Are there any specific athletes who you are most likely looking forward to? Maybe a senior who is looking towards playing a Division I at the Division II level?
It's hard to say until we get into the season. It depends on what these kids have been doing in the off season. For volleyball, we're really excited to have an athlete, a senior athlete named Sky Karsh come back. She did a semester at the Caribbean School last year and missed the volleyball season, which was a huge bummer, but she's been playing club and she was a starting as a freshman. And so she's coming back this year as a senior and a leader. And we have another senior with her, Liliana Tanazzi, who is also another great athlete for us. So that's the volleyball side of things. On boys soccer, we have some pretty amazing players. Mason Geller is an athlete to look out for this year. He's our starting goalie for the boys soccer team. And last year he led our team in points for the lacrosse team. And he also played basketball. He's a 3-sport athlete, mainly a lacrosse player, but he'll be starting his season in the fall playing soccer. He's right up there with, all of the best goalies in the state. He is one amazing athlete. So keep an eye out for him, both on the soccer field and especially on the lacrosse field. I know he's looking to play lacrosse in college in the future. We've been kind of gathering footage for him and looking at different ways to apply to different schools. So that's definitely his passion is lacrosse, but he plays all 3 sports. He's a serious athlete. We have a really strong alpine and Nordic skiing team as well. And I'm trying to pull up my rosters to kind of see, who's going to be those people to look out for this year. But yeah, we have so many athletes out here that are making this happen. And, at our school, we only offer generally for the boys, they can, in the fall, they can play boys soccer or boys golf. We don't have enough athletes to do a football team. And then, in the winter, it's either basketball or alpine. And then in the spring, the boys only can play lacrosse. And the girls, it's very similar. We kind of just focus on one or two sports per year. And those guys are able to kind of, it helps us get our numbers and bring it forward. So yeah, I guess those are a couple of guys to keep your eyes out for this coming year. Looking at the basketball roster, we have other athletes that are playing multiple sports. I'm looking at guys like Tommy Steele, who's going to be a stud on the soccer field and the basketball field. He'll be a senior this year, which is great. So yeah, we have all sorts of athletes to keep your eyes out for.
I got to ask you, I mean, I know that typically the more popular sports, the ones that bring the student sections and all the parents out and the whole city into town, is probably football and basketball. I'd say those are probably the two more popular high school sports. With not having a football team, is there a specific sport that kind of takes over as the one that kids congregate to?
Well, at our school specifically, I think the ones that draw the most crowds in the fall, it's going to be our girls volleyball games and our boys soccer for sure. Soccer is a big tradition at our school. It's probably our longest lasting sport here. Same within the spring with our girls soccer team. They've had a bunch of success. Our girls soccer team is, they've won 2 state championships in our school history, and our Alpine team has gotten 2 state championships as well. Alpine's kind of a tough one that draws the crowds just because you got to go all the way up and get to a mountain. So, those ones are super fun events, but they don't seem to bring as big a crowd just because of the accessibility of it. And then, in the spring, our boys lacrosse team has started to make quite the scene. We've only had a program for boys lacrosse for about 10 years. And that's a really fun one because in our league, we play with our rivals down the street. So we play against Eagle Valley High School, Battle Mountain High School, and we have really fun, friendly rivalries with those guys down the street. Football and hockey are big ones too. We don't host those sports, but Battle Mountain High School, the public school just down the street, they invite any of our players to come play with them. So when there's a hockey game, they've got all of the schools in the valley. Any kid can come play for them. So that brings a lot of guys and girls and high school students and parents and brings the community out. Hockey games are really popular. It's hosted by Battle Mountain High School, but it's kind of a community of all the schools playing for one team. And same with football. Both Eagle Valley and Battle Mountain host those sports. So and baseball too. So yeah, that's kind of how it works here in Vail. If we don't offer it, then it's going to be a program where one school plays with everybody. We do the same thing for tennis. We host girls tennis, and they had an amazing year last year as well. And looking forward to another great season with them. And Vail Christian, they host boys tennis. So we kind of share some responsibilities here with how small we are of a school. So it's pretty cool. We have players that wear a different jersey for certain sports that we don't offer, and we all kind of support each other. So it makes for a really cool community out here.
What are some of or do you know how many maybe players are playing for different high schools and stuff? And have you ever talked to any of them about how that feels? Is it weird to put on a jersey for a different high school, considering that Vail Mountain School doesn't necessarily have all the sports to offer?
Right. I think it's become normal, right? Because we just don't have the amount of people here in the Valley to host a team for each of us. So like hockey is a pretty good example. Last year, we only had 2 hockey players from Vail Mountain playing for Battle Mountain. But then you look at Eagle Valley, I think they had around 10 players. The Vail Christian School had about 5 players. In the past, we've had up to, 5 to 10 players playing for them. And I think it's actually pretty cool. They take pride in wearing that other jersey, even though it's their rival. And then, when that season ends, they transition into lacrosse, for example, and they get to play against some of their best friends. And it's a rivalry, but it's a lot of fun. These kids all know each other. They all play club sports together. So it's actually pretty cool. I don't think they take any grief in taking on and putting on another jersey, because it's kind of just supporting your community, if that makes sense.
Well, Bobby, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it. We cannot wait for your schools to start getting sports going up this upcoming Monday. So we're really, really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for meeting with me today. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Scoreboard. In order to participate in sports, you need the right gear, and that can be rather expensive. We had a chance to stop by Transition Sports to learn how they can help us keep outfitted in all the gear that we love.
If you need to get out and do some shopping for all of your summer needs and even your winter needs, well, Transition Sports is the perfect one-stop shop where you can get some great deals. And I'm standing here with the owner, Stafford. Thank you for meeting us.
Hey, Maddie, thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
We love coming in here only because there's so many good things. I have already picked out personally like 4 items that I have to purchase now before I can leave. And so you guys have a lot of variety, a lot of options, and we're standing outside right now with all the bikes that people can get their hands on.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a great selection of used bikes, so they're going to be on consignment. They will be for sale, road bikes, mountain bikes, kids bikes. We have chariots and trailers and that sort of stuff as well. So a little bit of everything.
Which is really nice. And then of course you've got the rental e-bikes, which right now these are the hot commodity. Everyone wants to get their hands on them, and especially because it's that time of year where maybe it's a little bit too warm to be pedaling, and that electric assist is so nice.
Absolutely, yeah. If you hadn't had a chance to try one of these e-bikes yet, they are great. They let everybody kind of get out on the same pace. Grandma can come out and ride with the kids. Everybody is out doing it together. So great opportunity to get the whole family out.
Which makes it nice and convenient. And then the consignment bikes are super nice, especially because getting your hands on bikes right now has been so hard, as it's been an industry that has just totally taken off and is exploding in the best way possible. And so if people are interested in getting their hands on a bike, or maybe if they're just starting to get into something like mountain biking or road biking, you guys have options.
Absolutely, yeah. Great option without having to buy a brand new bike. You can figure out if it's something you're into and then put more money into it later on if it's something you decide you like.
Exactly. So it's that perfect like one step inwards. Now, as we take our way inside for all of the fun that you can do in here, there's some great things that you can shop in here. You've got so many great options. And whether you want to look for a new longboard, or maybe let's talk a little bit about disc golf, because this is something that's a huge hot commodity here, and it's really hard for people that don't maybe know a lot about it to get into it.
Certainly, yeah. Disc golf has really gained popularity over the last decade. We're seeing more and more courses pop up all over the place, and it's a great option for people that have maybe played golf in the past, but the greens fees are a little out of their range these days. This gives you the same thrills, but once you have the discs, most of the disc golf courses are free, so you can get out there and get a chance to get a nice walk in and try all the different the options that we have here.
And our cameraman Nick was talking off camera, and he was like, I need a mid-range driver, and I did not know that you could buy different discs specifically for what you're doing.
Certainly, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that, but the reason there are so many is because the discs kind of act like clubs, and you will have certain discs for certain shots, and you have to have that disc in your bag if you end up in that situation.
Which is really cool, and this is something that, especially here in Colorado, has been taking off. Now, let's make our way backwards a little bit, just because there are so many other great things in here, like the consignment, which this is a huge aspect of the business that you guys do and that you participate in, helping people, whether they want to get into skiing and snowboarding and get out on the mountain for the first time, or maybe get into camping.
Absolutely. Yeah, down this aisle here, we've still got a little bit of our winter stuff out. This will change during the summer depending on how much summer stuff we get in. So sometimes you'll see more or less winter stuff out during the summer. But right now, we've still got some new jackets from last year, some consignment stuff, some boots. So still an opportunity to get outfitted if you're out here in the summer but want to get some equipment for the winter. There's always a chance we could get you set up, which is great.
If you're looking for golf items, you can get those here as well, and you guys are taking these in on consignment, so you've got a lot of options.
We do. We'll have full sets and sometimes just individual wedges as well as individual drivers. Sometimes there are bags for sale. We've got shoes, balls, so a little bit of everything.
Everything you need you can get right here, which makes it so nice, convenient, because we lost a lot of the sporting goods when Sports Authority left, like you said, and now it's nice that there's just one-stop shop for people to be able to get it, and nice and convenient.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited to be able to offer what we can. We can't fill in for everything that we lost with Sports Authority, but we try and have the things that the families will need when they come into town.
Which then, just looking around, you've got such a plethora of options. So we've got everything from lacrosse to golf to even some motocross, and then you've got ski helmets and you've got tube rentals. You just have so many options here.
Yeah, we do. We try to have a little bit of everything. So when you come in, we hope you can find something that will be what you're looking for.
And then let's make our way back just a little bit more because you've got so many options, and there's camping gear, and then there's skis, which this is kind of the big thing right now as we're getting ready for winter and people are getting really excited to gear up for the ski season, or maybe climbing. That's a sport that's taking off hugely here as well.
Absolutely. Again, a little bit of everything. So we're going to have some more summer stuff like the climbing equipment as well as camping equipment. There'll be fly fishing equipment as well. Again, it depends on any given moment as to what we'll have. So we're really low on fly fishing stuff right now. So if you've got any, feel free to bring some down and we can get it moved for you.
And then as we're making our way one more time through the store to get to the skateboards, which is such a cool spot in here, there are so many great options and it's a ton of fun to just get in here, explore, wander around, and see everything that you guys have to offer. How can people consign some of their items here?
Well, we take stuff in every day, so anybody that has got stuff that they're interested in bringing down is welcome to stop in between 10 and 7. We'll take a look at what you got, and we will figure out if it's stuff we're interested in. Once we have it, we'll get it priced out, and we'll send you a list of everything you brought in, and then we'll mail you checks as it sells. So it's pretty simple.
Which makes it nice and convenient, and especially, I mean, it's that time of year where maybe jobs are slowing down and people are in a pinch for some extra cash. This is a great way to get it.
100%. We definitely have helped more than one person in the valley out when they've been in a pinch.
100%. All right, now let's make our way over to these skateboards because this is a really fun section and you won't find anything else like this here in our valley.
Absolutely. We're the only skate shop in town. We have a full service skate shop. You can build a board from scratch. We've got completes already built. So if you've got a kid that's getting ready to go into one of the local skate camps, we can get you outfitted with the pads, the board you need. If you've been a long-time skater and just need individual pieces, we've got that as well as shoes and pads. So again, full service skate shop, everything you need, one stop.
One-stop shop, which makes it nice and convenient because then you can come in here, you can get everything. And I like the customization aspect. Like, I'm looking at those pink and blue trucks right there, and I'm like, those are so cute.
Well, if you want to build a skateboard, we can get you set up after we finish.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what my family wants to hear, is me getting on a skateboard is like quite possibly maybe their nightmare. So if people are interested in coming and shopping here and getting all this great information and maybe picking up some of these great consigned items, where are you guys located and what are your hours?
We are down here in Chapel Square, so that's 240 Chapel Place. We're right in the corner next to the Pod Hotel. We are open from 10 to 7 every day.
And if people are interested in maybe just coming, exploring, and then consigning, that's super easy. Do they need to call you before they can come in with their consignment items?
No, we're taking stuff every day. If you have a very large amount, you may want to call first. But, if it's just a carload full, that's pretty much fine every day, 10 to 7.
10 to 7. And then, of course, the rentals of bikes. Those bikes go quickly because they're electric bikes and people love to get their hands on them. So if people are interested in those, can they call and reserve them ahead of time?
Absolutely. I do recommend calling for the e-bikes because we do tend to rent those out a little bit ahead of time and won't always have availability. As well as the one wheels. Actually, we rent these out as well. So just like the e-bikes, if you'd like to go out on one of the one wheels for the day, same deal. Really fun. If you haven't had a chance to try one, they are a great way to get around, hands-free, really intuitive, super fun.
Which that is a sport that I would be interested in, but my balance, like I said, between the skateboarding and the one-wheeling, I just don't think I'm cut out for it.
Oh, Maddie, we've got everything you need. We're the store for you. We've got pads. We can get you set up.
Oh, man, can you teach me how to do it, too?
You know it.
Ah, perfect. Okay. So if people are interested in the one-wheels, they should call and reserve those as well?
Absolutely.
And that's something that you can just get out there, enjoy, kind of rip around. It's like skateboarding, but a little bit more intense.
Like skateboarding, like snowboarding in the summer almost. So if you're missing your winter fix, this is a great way to get it.
That's how I've been coping with missing skiing, is getting out on my rollerblades.
There you go. Yeah, very similar.
It's nice and easy like that. And so you guys are here all the time. People can come in. You can also get your puppy loving when you come in here because Timber is here. And look at how handsome this employee is. He is such a good boy. He comes, he gives you loves, he gives you hugs, and he's just really here to make sure that you're getting everything you need. Do you guys have a website where people can get more information?
Absolutely. Transition-sports.com. It's got all of our information as well as our location there. You can even view our consignment inventory if you go to the website.
Wow, that's a lot of information. Stafford, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to chat with us. Give us all this great information, and thanks for what you do here in our community.
Hey, thanks, Maddie. Really appreciate you guys coming down.
We love to come in here. This is a great spot to go shopping. No matter what you need, I guarantee they have something. And if not, they'll keep their eye out for you because they always have stuff coming in. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we've got more of the show.
That's all the time we have for today's episode of The Scoreboard. Now remember, if you have a story idea, email it to us at scoreboard@tv8vail.com. We cannot wait to hear from you. As always, visit our website at thescoreboardnation.com to see content you may have missed. For Maddie Evans, I am Blake O'Rulian, and we will see you next time right here on The Scoreboard.